We're going to recap our study for this week at school. It's House of the Rising Sun. We're going to do it fingerstyle like this. And for those that are purists that know the correct way, it should actually sound like this. But like I said, we simplified it to make it a bit more user-friendly for those that are still new to guitar. Now, you can also use a pick if you want to as well. So if you want to use a pick, you can do this. I don't really mind which you favor. Now, first of all, just to get the picking pattern working, okay, we're going to focus more onto your picking hand now. So I'm going to zoom in nice and close there. This is the fingerstyle. I'm going to play an A minor chord somewhere up the guitar neck. There's the A minor, okay. And we're going to work our fingers as follows. The thumb is playing the 5th string. Thumb picks him. Finger 1 is going to play the 3rd string. Middle finger tapping now is going to play the 2nd string. Ring finger is going to play the 1st bottom string. And your pinky can rest on the guitar or can hover in the air. I'm not too phased or worried about that. Now, on the picking sequence, it's going to look and sound like this with that A minor we showed earlier. At speed, notice that I like resting my pinky on the body of the guitar. It gives me a sort of central positioning that my hand doesn't drift. If my hand's in the air, it's very easy for this to happen, which means I might pluck or pick the wrong string. I don't want that, so I rest him on there. And then I work through my chords like that. Now I'm going to focus through the chords quickly, and then we'll have a look at the alternative picking patterns we can do as well. A minor, we got A minor like this. Finger 1's on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Fingers 2 and 3 are going to be 2nd fret. You guys should know the A minor by now. And it should sound like this, plucked from the 5th string. You'll be able to see left and right hands working together now. And that's what we just did. If you want to use a pick, same strings, same sequence. I hold the pick normally with my 1st finger and thumb, so be careful to do this. I notice sometimes we want to let the middle finger help. We want to keep your middle finger open, so later when we do cool songs like, you can see my middle finger comes into play there. So it's not relevant for this song, but I want to get into a habit. If you're using a pick, only finger 1 and thumb. Now just on the A minor, for those that want to pick it, we're going to go string 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it's like this. And you got your picking pattern. Okay, back to the chords. You've got the PDF in front of you. It's on your cell phone or it's printed out. Chords are A minor, C. It's a nice transition that you'll notice that fingers 1 and 2 don't really move. They just sort of have finger 3 moving across and a little bit of trouble with the middle finger there to help it get there. Both of those are going to have the 5th string for a root note. So if I zoot out again, I'm going to go for fingerstyle because I feel like it now. Like I said, if you want to use a pick, no big deal. And get a better angle. There's your A minor, there's your C. It's going to sound like this. I'm going to count 3 and 4 and you got your first 2 chords. With your D chord, for those that aren't familiar with it, D looks like this. It starts with fingers 1 and 2 on strings 3 and 1, and the ring finger comes into the 2nd string in the 3rd fret. And the only real difference over here that comes into play is your picking hand now starts on the 4th string, no longer on the 5th. So A minor, 5th, C, 5th, and what's my thumb now? D is on the 4th. And if I were to use a pick, same thing, but only from the 4th string. So if I were to pluck it now from the beginning, A minor, C, and D, I'd have this. 5th string for A minor, 5th string for C, 4th string for D. And if I'm a pick player, sounds a bit brighter. I just want to do the 2 in succession so you can hear the difference between a pick and the tone of the fingers, and it's really personal, so whichever one you favor, that's the one you must go for. Here we go, 3 and 4 and... And over there, I think I plucked the one string twice by mistake. Okay, but the rhythm was still correct. We're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6/8 time signature. Now the next chord sometimes catches those that are still new to guitar. It's the F chord. And what happens with the F is the first finger needs to go flat. You can see from that angle there, my first finger is nice and flat across strings 1 and 2. My thumb is at the top. This is bad, by the way. If I put my sort of, let's call it the thumb's palm above the neck, I'm putting my fingers under. We don't want to do that. This must go like that. Okay, you can see, bad, good. And then fingers 3 and 4, and I'll take a bit of a different angle. You can see the fingers 2's on the 3rd string, finger 3's on the 4th string. You can see it from a different angle there. The finger placement and the finger 1 nice and flat. Now, in class today, I noticed some of the guys were doing this to get the chord so they can see what they're doing, which makes sense. I want to see my chord. But listen how bad this sounds. A lot of dead notes. The hassle with this is my wrist has to bend more now, and that's uncomfortable. So you want to keep your guitar up straight, tight against your tummy, and it should sound like this now. Okay, I played the F twice just to demonstrate. But the important part over here is keep your guitar vertical, tuck it against your tummy. It will make sure your chords get clearer because your wrist isn't bending now to compensate for trying to look at the guitar because of the angle. Guitar up straight. Okay. I'm going to take you now from the beginning, A minor, F, C, and A minor, F, C, D, and F. Okay, I think I got the chords wrong here. A minor, D, F. Here we go. Sorry. It's not even Monday. Okay, let's do this. A minor, C, D, and F. Let's play the two with me now. I'm going to count to 4 and we try together. 3 and 4 and... There's your C, root on the 5th, D, root on 4th, and here comes F, root on the 4th. The second time round goes back to A minor, C again, and now E. Now the E just on the shape quickly looks a lot like the A minor if I sit and view this side. There's my A minor, we're pretty well versed with this one now. The E, simply everything up a string, you can see the transition there. On the picking pattern for it, some guitarists might prefer to play the 6th string for the bass note. It's quite acceptable. I prefer the 4th string. It's just a preference. They're both the note E. So this is an E and this is an E. They're octaves. In other words, it's the same note name, just different pitch. So I like going for the 4th. If you prefer the 6th, quite acceptable. I want you and I now to play the whole way through from the beginning. A minor, C, D, F, A minor, C, E, and then E again. If you've got this, you should be home and dry for the entire song. You shouldn't have a hassle at all with it. Are we ready? Okay, get a nice angle shot over here. Get to see the left and right hands working together. And your A minor is in place. I'm going to count 3 and 4 and... And that's your first 2 cycles, your first 8 bars. On the second time around, it goes A minor, C, D, F again. And if you look at your PDF, it finishes off with A minor, E, A minor, and E again. On the original, there are some interesting twists where they stay on A a bit longer and variations. We're simplifying the song. So for the purists that say, but why isn't it? It's because we've simplified it. Okay. We're now going to take the entire song through. Are we ready? A minor in place. 3 and 4 and double E there, back to the A minor, C, D, F. And we finish it with A minor, E, and A minor, E again. Now for those that have got that and they would like to do the correct picking pattern, let me show you what's actually happening there, which means I'm going to zoom in a bit closer onto my picking hand. And your rhythm is actually what's changing, and you can see it kick into place now. Watch my thumb. This is before, and this is after. You hear that rhythm? The first one goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this other one goes 1, da 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 da, and there you can hear it. And you can see the thumb working down from the 5th onto the 4th. And this note here is going to run as a triplet. 1, 1, 2, 3. And the rest remains the same. So one more time, before and after. Here's before. We'll put the C with it. And this is after. And that's all that really changes. With the D, you go to the 4th, so you're going to play the 4th twice. And that's the correct way to do it, but the original way is going to sound just as cool. Also, on your PDF, on the tab itself, you'll also notice underneath the chords picking patterns, there's a part that goes 2, 2, 4, 5, 5, 4, sorry, 5, 3, double 2. That's actually the melody. So if you were singing the words of There Is a House in New Orleans, you'd actually have the tune of the song. So it should sound like this. But I'm not going to go into that now. It's just to prepare you for what actually is on the rest of the page. If you want a dedicated lesson on how to learn the melody, let me know and I'll prepare it for you. The goal and purpose of this was to recap the chords, to show that you could do a fingerstyle or a picking. You can go for the pick. Or you can go the fingerstyle. Or you can do the correct picking with a slight different rhythm change. And if you got that, the goal for this video is achieved. Have an awesome week. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.